Okay, and then you said gender expectations and paying for dates, I believe in absolute equality. So you think like 50-50 on the first date? Okay.
Unless I'm overly impressed or they're overly impressed. I don't mind suggestions.
Word.
Like,
okay.
yeah.
All right. We'll go around the table. Who should pay on the first date?
Him.
Whoever got the bread.
The man.
Who asked me out? Who asked who out? If you asked
Have
me
you
out.
Have you ever asked a guy out on the date?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you pay
Who
for
pays
it?
in that situation?
I
Then?
did.
You pay for the whole thing, or you split?
I mean, I was like, yeah, like, do you want to go grab something to eat? My treat. You want to go grab something to eat? Like, my treat. Yeah, I'll pay for it. I have my own money.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Why would I
too.
ask you out and make you pay for it?
Did you make this guy wait?
Did I? It was so long ago. Oh, it wasn't the first date. It wasn't the first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
already answered.
What about you?
Wait, sorry. Can you
Who should
repeat
pay on
the
the
question?
first date?
I'm impartial. It doesn't matter. But every guy that I've been on a date with has paid. So.
Okay.
I'm also quite impartial.
Okay. All right.
I always offer.
You offer.
It's a fake offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Fake offer, but
That's not. That's wrong. That's
All the
wrong.
time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are
Wait,
you
question.
sure?
So let's.
How much do you want me to send you?
Yo, that's wrong.
So let's say you and me are on a date, right? And the fucking check comes. You do role play. How do you do the fake reach?
Oh, okay. I'm kind of excited. I will take out an offer, but I'm praying that he'll pay.
Okay.
And I'll even do a second time. Are you sure? I'm sincere.
Okay,
but I'm
so-
not.
Yeah, you're gonna get laid for sure doing that. You're manipulating these men into sleeping with you.
No, I don't mind paying. I just think the first initial payment, whether it's an ice cream, anything, the first initial thing, I think it's just a polite thing.
Okay, so you do the token gesture. Let's say though that because you said you hope. I guess you hope that they don't accept. So let's say a guy takes you up on your token gesture of paying. What's your reaction?
Oh, of course I'll be nice to their face, but if I wouldn't be interested in them long term.
Even if otherwise the date went well and.
It's happened to me before. I dated a guy and he was really cute. We hit it off, and then when the bill came, I offered him some cash and he took it, and he was like counting dimes, and it just turned me off because it just shows me.
Okay, disregard the dime counting, but let's just say it was a smooth transition where you made the token offer, he accepts said token offer. There's no like weird.
It wouldn't be a deal breaker.
extraneous
It wouldn't
shit.
be a deal breaker, but I would hope in the long run it wouldn't come to bite me in the ass, because usually it shows me that they might be a little bit cheap, or have different
cheap? Okay.
not cheap, but different values. I'm like a really generous person, so.
Are you?
Yeah.
Even though your offers of
I told you,
paying
just
are,
the first payment, the
do
first
you mean?
date, the first time we hang out.
don't you think that's a bit arbitrary?
I don't know. I just think it's a sign of respect. After that, I don't mind.
It's
It
traditional.
arbitrary?
Can I
Yes.
ask you a question? Why would you expect the man to have like respect for you when he doesn't really know you or anything like that?
Oh, it's just like if even with a friend, if you're inviting them out, a family member, anyone, you expect.
Actually,
them
I mean, it depends the context, but I mean, if I go get food with a friend,
We pay for it.
you each pay
know what I mean. If you're in a proper-
Hold on, what do you mean?
I was like, if I go out with my friend, you want to go grab something, we usually pay for our own meal, unless it's just
Okay,
like,
okay,
let's
yes,
get together. Like,
yes.
But if I'm inviting like a friend out, like I just mean in general, I think it's just a nice thing to do for someone, and especially in a dating scenario.
But wouldn't you be? But that would be a nice thing for you to do, then, to pay for it as well.
Yeah, but I guess it's a little bit traditional.
Okay, but so just to be clear, so you make the offer, so you verbalize the offer. You're like, oh, can I? How would you say it?
You sure you don't? Or we can do half, or I'll reach and be like,
Okay.
oh.
You'll
hey,
reach
here's
for the
my
purse.
wallet. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you think communication is important in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay,
Where are you
but
going with that?
well, women often complain about men are not great communicators. Men, communication is so important. But you doing this token thing is you quite literally not
Victor
communicating.
donated $100. She is generous, but her explanation of her thought process is the definition of avarice. I think you should really know yourself and accept your own opinions, not lie yourself. That's the only way to move forward and improve. Smile. Much love, Bree.
Yo, Apostle Victor. Hey, thank you, man. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the TTS. So, isn't it poor communication skills to say one thing but mean the other?
Absolutely.
In other words, to make an offer to pay, even though that would be pretext for you to know if he took you up on said verbalization, to take you up on the literal words that came out of your mouth, that would be cause to either be negative brownie points or just a full-on deal breaker. Isn't that poor communication?
Yes, technically, but I think also it's a cultural thing. It's the same way people, if you go to a guest house, oh, can I help you with anything? Oh, can I help, bring out some things? I feel like sometimes it's just a polite way of doing something.
But if they take you up on the offer, are you
Looking down on them?
like do you have
I
the
think it's
right to be upset that
No.
they took you on up on the offer?
I wouldn't never be like upset, like angry.
Well,
it's
you
just not a
just said
match.
you wouldn't.
It's just not a match culturally, right? Like I don't want to be with someone that doesn't have the same thought process.
That's
But you're,
fair. And
you're
look,
tricking him, though, because you're giving him the idea that you are someone who is willing to go 50-50. You should be upfront and say, hey, I want a man to pay for me.
it's entrapment.
I don't know though. Is that
Almost.
even? I don't know. Isn't that kind of rude though to not reach for the wallet, just assume?
I don't think there's any problem with girls wanting men to pay
Yeah.
for the first
so
date.
how should you go about it?
You should just tell them, hey,
I want-
when we go on a first date, I expect a traditional man
I
to
don't know
pay
if
for
that's
my...
the best.
Yeah,
lot
I
of
was
men-
gonna say.
I mean, you're going to get your.
Listen, if she was hot enough, I'd be like, okay, traditional, whatever the fuck. I
I'd
don't
rather
care. All right,
rather
whatever.
let it go downhill and let the guy be like, hey, you're gonna pay half for this, so I
Right.
can be like, ugh. Then me be like, oh, I'm gonna pay half, and then I'd be fake about it. I just
So
won't say a word.
the point of the first date, actually, I actually like the way my boy Zarka said it. He said the point of the first date is to bring anxiety to zero. And so if you're having a date with a girl and there's a question over who should pay, you should just pay so anxiety goes to zero. That's always the way I've done it. In fact, one of the things I've done is if there's a group of us, well, this is something I learned from Justin Waller. He does this too. We'll get up and we'll go find the waitress and we'll give her our credit card before the dinner's even halfway done. So we'll try to pay for it. So when the check comes, it's already been paid for. And like, we'll try to beat each other to go pay for it. Cause that's what we do. I have chosen traditional gender roles in my relationship. If that's not what you want, if you want a polyamorous relationship or if you want a relationship where she's your sugar mama, then you can choose that as well. In my relationship, I've chosen traditional gender roles where I pay for my girlfriend's stuff. And if my girlfriend has a girlfriend, I'll probably pay for her stuff too.
Sure. For me personally, I always go on first dates with the expectation and willingness to pay. I'm never going to do something that theoretically would be out of my like price range or anything like that. I always go in with the mindset that I will probably pay, but it's obviously like with other like romantic
agree.
gestures, it's really nice if they do pay, but it's not necessarily expected.
Yeah, like in New York, and where I live in New York, like it's like one of the most expensive like
Yeah, of
dates
course.
in the world. So like to expect a man to like just cover like a $250 date is like a lot on the first date when he doesn't even know you and he's investing that into you, like not knowing where things are
Who
going
picked
to
the
go.
spot? For the
That's
date?
why you gotta talk to heavy hitters.
I mean,
you know
that's
what
just
I
New
mean?
York. I mean, you go to a
New
nice
York
dinner.
is big as hell.
You go-
We can go
you-
get street tacos.
That's true, but like
Go
I
on
mean,
your
men,
budget.
a lot of the times, like men will choose the place because they want to have a nice gesture. They want to do something nice. But I have a lot of men that talk to me and say like, how do I tell a girl, like when do I tell a girl that I want to go 50-50 because I can't do this anymore. I'm breaking my pocket. Like, but like they want to put on that sort of facade.
that sense,
like-
I would always pick
so
something.
let me explain this because I have this for my clients. So one of the things I teach in my program is how to get comps, like how to show up with like 10 girls. A big thing in Los Angeles, Miami, and in Las Vegas is if you have 10 girls or 5 girls with you, they just give you a comp bottle, they'll give you comp rooms, they'll give you comp dinner. And the guys that I teach this, a lot of times are like, they're trying to do it every day so that they don't have to pay for dinner. And I tell them to stop, bro. If the problem is you're worried about taking a girl to dinner, then let's stop worrying about girls and worry about your fucking money for a while. This is a problem. So because what that means is you got money up to 3, but you got girls up to a 3, but money's at 1. Right now, girls are up at a 7, but money's at 2. No, money needs to catch up to girls or surpass girls. Actually, the better thing is for it to surpass. So if money's at 1 and your skill with women are like at a 5, money needs to catch up. Stop worrying about like, oh, what do I say to this girl? Let's chill on that. Let's learn a skill. Let's become valuable. Let's make more money first and not have to worry about that situation. I'm not saying lead with money to get women, but if you take a woman on a date and you are tripping over the bill, let's make more money. That should be the answer to that.
Yep,
Sure, yeah.
But like, what about the average man that's like that doesn't that makes the average salary, and like, you know, this is inevitably not going to
Well,
be in the top 1% or top 10%.
No one. It's not. No one has the privilege. Not everyone has to live in Manhattan. Right, you understand? But living in Manhattan, like, then just don't live in Manhattan. I don't live in Manhattan because I just think like I can afford it, but I think about all the time and money that is wasted on HOA fees and incredible like expensive Uber rides. That's why I don't live in that city. I live in Las Vegas with no state income tax. It's still because it's my fucking money. That's the reason why I do it. No one has to live. No one made you live in Manhattan. Leave Manhattan. Move to Scottsdale. The women are prettier and it's a lot less expensive. Move to Orange County. Move to Dallas. Move to Tampa Bay, move to San Antonio, move to Austin, move to a place where there's beautiful women and it's not that expensive. I would stay the out of lower Manhattan. There's no way I would live there.